Yes, and we are live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, South Florida. Hello, world. I'm Robert Henderson Jr., President, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. I'm a certified tax coach. I'm a certified financial planner. I'm located here in Miami Lakes, Florida. We have clients all over the world. And we love what we do here in Miami Lakes. We're a full service financial planning firm. I just got back from last night from a conference in Utah, so I'm still fired up. And my co-host here, the one and only living legend, my brother from another mother, a legend, Mr. James T, all the way from Hot 105. How you doing, Mr. James T?
Robert, it's another wonderful day. And it started at midnight. another
Yes,
best another best day of our lives, Robert.
yes,
Today until midnight. But now wait, Rob, you can't run past that trip because you made the trip. We had all the weather here that we had. You
yes.
came back yesterday and hey, and you're excited about the new things that you have learned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then tomorrow morning I got a 6 a.m. flight to Philly. And that's something. So I'm man. I tell you, don't even mention July. July is full of conference. The month of July is next month is full of conferences and learning and just education. I've dedicated my life to learning. Isn't that something?
That oh what no, brother. That is
And
a
sharing and
wonderful thing.
sharing,
Yes, yes.
learning and sharing. Yes.
Hey, when we continue to learn, I had a friend who told me his uncle told him. He said that his father told him, "Never stop working and never stop learning." Yeah, hey,
Amen.
learning is a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful. Now, you gonna be traveling out in the country next time or within the
No,
country?
no, all year it'll be within the country. Yes, it'll
Okay,
be thank
okay, all
God.
right,
Yeah.
good enough, good enough. So, how was Utah?
I mean, Utah was real good. It was some top producers all over the country. It was about 200 of us. And every time I go there, I learn something. I met a guy, man, is 81 years old. He said he's never stopped working. And this guy, he handles the retirement for all the public supermarket stores.
Mm,
Yeah. So he deals with all of the key people there, a lot of the managers, from the meat department, and he does financial planning for all of them. And he says, Robert, down there in Miami, man, I need some help. I say, hey, I'll help you out. And this guy's 81 years old, man. He's been doing it for a long time. And one of his very, very good friends is Fran Tarkenton. Some people are too young to know who Fran Tarkenton
yeah.
is. This guy is he's 80 some years old too. He was the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. That used to be one of my favorite teams back when I was growing up, the Minnesota Vikings. And Fran Tarkenton was the quarterback. So Fran Tarkenton is in insurance big time, life
Mm,
insurance, annuities, IULs. I didn't know that, but he's really, really big in in life insurance. He also told me that man, this guy has I ain't going to his business, but anyway,
okay, yeah,
but,
right.
but, but that, him and I've met some really a lot of
Great
great
people.
great people, man, that really really love what they do. When you to be successful in anything, really, you really gotta really love it and like it and love it and be into it because it gets past the money. When you get to a certain point, it's not just about the money. You really get into helping the people, and you really, really want to help, and you feel good when you're around other, top producers that really want to help because we're not, it's not the money anymore because you got enough money. We know our numbers, so we know exactly what we need in order to take care of our households and live a good life. But the thing is that you've gotten there and you want to. There's so many other people that don't know. James, I found out that it's less than 8% of all people in America don't even have a financial planner. I don't know how you do it when you don't have someone to give you some advice and talk to you, especially when you don't know. That's alone. I guess I remember not having a financial planner, and I was lost like in the woods. That's why I started studying money. But it's only 8% of people across the board, all ethnicities, they have a financial coach, somebody telling
Mhm.
them what to do. And that's what I want to talk about in today's show about who's advising you and do you have
Mm.
a financial planning coach? You need that, And that's amazing. Anyways, I learned a lot of software stuff, but really excited to bring it to our clients here at the Henderson Financial Group. What about
Rob,
you? What have you learned?
man, Rob, that conversation that you just had, I had yesterday with a dear friend and a coworker, and trying to get them to realize, that greatness is from within us and what we have done all of our lives because we've lost our language, we don't know our real value, and we don't know our purpose. Rob, if we would get those things and realize who we are, and since we're not taught who we are, where we came from, what we potentially can do, and seeking a purpose, since we're not taught how to think rather than what to think, since we're not taught these things, we should take it upon ourselves to seek to have relationship with people who know more than we do in their area of expertise, and then join them in our expertise. And for the two of us then to reach out to others that have other greatness within them that we don't have. And man, just as you said, when you get a chance to meet people who love what they do and who are great at what they're doing, and at that point where they realize nothing I have really belongs to me, and I'm not going to be able to take it with me. So why can't I help others to become all that they can be? When you take on that attitude, it becomes great. I spoke at a graduation was it last Sunday? All my days are running together. This weekend, you may be traveling a lot. When I finish this conversation that we're going to have today, I'm shutting it down. I'm shutting it down. I don't have a flight tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. in the morning. But Rob, I spoke at this graduation at, I think it was Holy Spirit Ministry. I hope I got that right. But anyway, and and I just shared with the graduates there, and I said we should become graduates. We should want to graduate, like you said, Rob, every day. We should want to learn something today that we never ever knew before. But you've got to ask, seek, and knock in order to do that.
Yeah. See you.
Yeah.
But see, when you just saying that, just come out of your mouth. See, you in a wonderful place, James. You
Oh,
mentally, psychologically, spiritually, you are in a wonderful, fantastic place. And it's a lot of people, James. What you saying and what I feel and what we feel in terms of just dedicating ourselves to a life long learning and just and sharing and just love. James, there's a lot of people just is not there yet, man. And we don't understand why they not there, because it's a beautiful place, headspace to be when, because it brings you peace. You don't have to hurry up. You just want to
right.
get along. You want everybody
Joy.
to just get along, joy.
Joy.
And you
It's
can't understand why
unspeakable.
everybody else ain't seeking it, right? You don't know why they trying to get here, right?
But Rob, I'm hoping that as we spread this, and seriously, it's not how much you have. It really is not. I, I mean, you can see people, or we can read about people and hear about people that has more money than they'll ever spend. But the ones who are in greatest health, sound mind, you know, willing to love people that they don't even know, willing to give to people that they don't even know, to see others reach. Hey, those are people who, like you said, are in a good place. Man, I just, I'm in that place of unspeakable joy. And believe me, it has nothing to do with what you own or what you drive. Matter of fact, hey, I was well. Anyway, I don't have that car that I had a month ago because of some crazy running in the back of me. But, and my first concern, Rob, when they hit me,
Your
are you
safety.
are you all right?
Are you
Are you
okay? Right.
yeah? Are you? Hey, and
That's
I knew that
everything.
that blew their mind when I would get out of my car after you hit me, and I go back and I say, "Hey, are you good?" And knowing that they were good because they were in a Jeep, you know. But but Rob, seriously, to our listeners out there and our viewers, hey, we want you to participate in the conversation today because I know that there are questions that I mean, usually when we're on the air right now, I'm going to get a text from somebody with a question. Put it in the comment section. Others the question that you have, others will have. One of the
Yeah.
questions I got, Rob, from our conversation the other week was, okay, when you put the house in a trust, should you change the insurance holder? Because most homes are insured. Now it's in a trust. So it's not owned by the individual, it's now owned by the trust. And I said, that's a great question. I said,
Yeah.
I would say yes. I would say,
Yes.
yes, you need to notify your insurance company. I said, but hey, I don't want to say that. I'm going to let Mr. Henderson explain because that's not my expertise.
But that's a good idea, because when you take the property out of your name, if the property was in James
Mhm.
Thomas,
Right.
and now you take it out of your personal name and you put it
Put
inside
it
of
in
a living
trust.
trust. Now the property tax and everything, and like along with the insurance, should be in the name of James Thomas. Okay,
Or
it's
the
but
trust.
yeah,
Or is it the
excuse me, the
trust?
trust. It should be in the name of
Okay.
the
The
trust.
trust. Okay.
When
Okay.
when you
The
take it out
trust.
of your name and put it into the trust, that means it's not yours. You put it into the trust. Even
Right.
if you want to put a car out of your name, you want to put it into the name of the trust, it should be entitled in the name of the trust.
Good, good. Well, see,
Yeah.
and these are great questions. And like we always say, there are people viewing us and listening. They don't want to get into the chat, but get into the hey, there are no dumb questions. Seriously. Because if you don't have an answer, the dumb thing is not asking.
And James, we all learn from each other.
Yes, of course, of
I mean, when
course.
I was in the conference just in Utah, I was learning from somebody else. I mean, we now right after this show, I got to go speak to a men's conference. They're going to be learning from me at a church. It's a church, a big church here, local. I'm at Antioch,
Mhm.
here in South Florida. I'm going to be speaking there, and it's a men's conference. So I'll be speaking there. Right? I mean, our show is over at 10. I've got to be there at 10:30. It don't take me about 15 minutes to get there, but they're going to be learning from me. We learn from each other. You don't know it all. That's what God put us here, is to share, to each and every one of us are special, and each and every one of us have our special gifts. So you're not supposed to leave your gift to yourself. You're supposed to be able to share, and then somebody else that got a gift, they share with you, and you share with them. And before you know it, we have a better place, a better life. First of all, I want to say thank you, Miss Redhead. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Miss Redhead, Mr. Redhead, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out here. Also, I want to say good morning, Curtis Kegler, and good morning, Parnell, and Islam, and Denise Ward, and my cousin Terry. Yes, cousin Terry. So glad to see you up watching, you and Chris. And we learn from each other. Nail Spa. Good morning. Good morning. You listen to the Henderson Financial Group. Today, we're going to be talking about financial planning, the importance of financial planning. Because, James, when I learned that less than 8% of people in this country don't have any type of financial planner, coach, advisor, it's amazing how most people get their information from people who don't know nothing. That's something. Most people get their information from their cousin, their friend, and each and every one of us is we're unique and different than our friends and our cousins. So they can't give you the same, like taking somebody else's medication that the doctor prescribed for them. It's not you. It's not your body weight. Y'all don't have the same blood work. You can't just take anybody medication. But a lot of people are taking other people's financial medication, and people giving it to you freely, and people will give you what's good for them. They'll give it to you when they don't really know your situation. That's why having a financial coach, a financial planner, someone who you can talk to. Now listen, I don't want y'all to get confused with just because you have your money in Fidelity or Vanguard or Merrill Lynch or whoever, that's not a financial coach. That's not a planner. I mean, that's totally different. Financial planning is someone that can help guide you. And I'm gonna tell you something. The problem with a lot of people is you don't start out getting them young. There's so many young people that's trying to go it alone in this whole maze of economics and financing and making decisions by themselves. If you start out young, you don't have to have a lot of money. You just have to have a relationship with somebody who have done it, who's traveled, who knows. who you can trust. And then you build that relationship with that person. Everybody come out of college, everybody who's over age 21 years old should have some sort of financial affiliation or relationship with a financial planner, because you need, man, it helps you to not make so many mistakes. It helps you to know what's going on. What is interest? What's compound interest? Uh, uh, um, what's stock? What's mutual funds? What ETF? What is life insurance? I mean, what's health insurance? What is wills and trusts? What's Medicare? What's Social Security, and why do we need it? And most people don't know the difference between the. If I say how much your gross pay, they don't know what you're talking about. They know how much you take home, but they don't know when you're talking about what's gross. But what's in between net and gross? How much are you grossing? They ask people how much do you earn a year. They say, I don't know. I just get bank deposit. I don't know how much it is. I just know how much I get every bank draft. I know how much is in my bank account. Well, how much is that a year? I don't know. Let me calculate it. I mean, most people don't know their numbers, and it's kind of hard for you to get to where you really want to be without having data, without having information. We're in the information age, man. You need to have answers. You need to know, you have direction. So when you trying to go it alone in this world and trying to get to the promised land, it's going to be pretty difficult if you don't have the information, because you don't know what you don't know, that you don't even know that you don't even know. You don't even know that what you could have done was on the planet, because like James says, you haven't asked,
You haven't
you haven't
seen.
seeked, and you haven't knocked. Isn't that something?
Yeah. Oh, Rob, all the time, most people feel as though when they go in, even to get a job, Rob, they don't ask questions, they don't negotiate. you know, what they. Well, first of all, like as you said, they won't seek information before they go in to the workplace. They're saying that, oh, they hiring down there and they're paying $18 an hour, they paying $20 an hour, $25, whatever it is, boo, and I'm just going to get a job. Wait a minute. But look at what you're bringing to the table. And because we don't value who we are and what we have, and discipline, work ethics, all of that. I mean, hey, you negotiate. You can go in even though they're telling you. As a matter of fact, most managers or leaders, if you will go in with an attitude of recognizing that you're bringing something to them rather than them just giving you an hourly wage, hey, they'll look at you differently. And even though they may hire you at that wage, when opportunities come for advancement based on your work habits and things like that, but negotiating or finding out how you can negotiate before you go in to that workplace, because we always feel like, hey, we're not in dominion. No, hey, believe me, I've been told by, as Robert says, that good book tells us we've got power, we've got dominion. So if we've got all of that, when we speak with people, negotiate with people, hey, that's what you do. And my whole attitude has always been, you can only negotiate in power when you can walk away from the table. And I've
Yeah.
always wanted to be prepared to walk away from the table. Yeah.
Most people don't have. Most people see, James. Most people don't. So you worked on that. You worked on being in that position. Most people don't even
Yes.
know that position exists. They don't even know they could be in that position.
Yeah.
A
Oh, and Rob,
position of
but it's
power.
so important that you have not just a friend to tell you what they heard or what they think, or these things that you see on TV and on YouTube. Sometimes I'll see these people on social platforms, and they'll start off telling you about something exciting that they have, right? But Rob, then they said, but the only way you can get the rest of the information is that you got to click this. And guess what? I clicked them and removed them from my social platform, because most of the time when people are trying to get you or entice you to buy their service or to buy their product, they're not they're not telling you the whole truth, and they're trying to get something from you. And you may think uh, clicking their link is nothing. No, it's something, because now they have a follower, or you subscribe to their product, and they're selling you and your information, all that you give. So come on, stop for a second and ask somebody, wait a minute, I saw this. Uh, can I can I call the Henderson Financial Group and they're recommending that I invest in this or I invest in this product. The big thing now is, oh, the government will do your windows and your doors and da 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 da, and they'll do it for free. Hmm. Well, if the government will do it for free, why don't you send me to that government agency that does it for free rather than I have to go through you? Or you get this, you get this one, Rob, saying you may have some money that the government owes you. Okay. Well, can I call the government and say, hey, y'all got any of my money? do I have to call John Doe or Jane Doe and say, okay, will you get that money for me and see if I have any money? And they want 25%. I had one of those, Rob. There was a group called was it Barnett Bank back in the day? They're out of
Yeah,
business,
back in
right?
the day. Yeah, out of
Uh,
business.
I had an account at Barnett Bank in Delray Beach. Hey, I'm young. I'm hey, running here, running there. So when Barnett closed, and I got this thing, a letter or something saying that I would have money, and I said, okay, well, I'll call the state of Florida. I called the state of Florida, told them who I was, sent my information, and I say to the person who told me, thank you, but you're not getting a percentage of this because I can get it all for myself. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
we do have to seek people who are interested in seeing us become a better who we are or
Yes.
who we're to become. And Rob, when you go out and you go to these sessions and you learn things, strategies, and all types of things of how you can help, the person must take it upon themselves to say, I'm going to make a call to the Henderson Financial Group.
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. Even in Utah, when I was at this top advisors from all over the country, I was invited there. I was sent to a guy, and this guy's in the insurance business. This guy, he earns over $2 million a year. So you know he's considered, he's doing okay. He earns over $2 million a year, and he happy. He loves what he does, and he specializes and he sells life insurance annuities. That's what he does. His whole thing is annuities. He don't do anything else. But he's considered, a top guy because he knows it. He helps people a lot. And him and I was having a conversation, and I don't know how we got on to. I told him exactly what I do, and I asked him about life insurance. And I asked him, did he have life insurance? Now here's a guy that's successful. He's 59 years old. He makes a little over $2 million a year for himself. So I said, do you have any life insurance? Since you sell annuities, do you have life insurance for yourself? He says, yes, he has term life. And I said, you're 59 years old. I said, you need to get off that term life because, that's going to run out. Are you planning on dying, soon? And he says, no. He says, as a matter of fact, he's in good health. He's lost about 40 pounds. He's doing an intermittent fasting. He's a little overweight looking at him, but he's coming down. And I told him, I said, well, why do you have the term insurance? Why don't you have permanent insurance? And he says, tell me about it. Now, think about it. Here's a guy that you would think he's in the insurance business, but he specialized in selling annuities. He earns for himself over $2 million a year, but he doesn't have a financial plan. In other words, he's not a financial planner. Just because you're a doctor or a dentist or a football player, just like what you were saying, just because you earn lawyer, just because you earn money, just because you have money sitting in, the bank, or you have money sitting at, Apple computer or whatever, you have stocks, or that's not financial planning. Because here a guy, he started asking me about life insurance because he only has term. And I said, listen, I had term for the first 20 years until I educated myself and found out more that was the low hanging fruit. And having term insurance is you're just betting that you're going to die and then soon. And then your insurance company is betting that you're going to live and the term going to run out. You're going to have to keep paying more and more and more. This guy's 59 years old. I said, you're getting on up there. So he says, well, how much would a indexed universal life cost me? And we sitting there. I said, well, I have to do the numbers, but he says, well, what's the minimum I can put in? By him asking me what's the minimum he can put in, even though he's in the insurance business, He specialized in annuities. He didn't understand when he said, "What's the minimum can I put in for a life insurance?" I said, "It depends on what you want: $100,000 coverage, 500, $1 million coverage, And he asked me what I had, and I told him. He was like, "Wow," But I said, I started out much, younger than you. You're 59. It's going to cost you more because the older you are, but you need to have permanent assets, because having a term insurance is like, he said, "I know, like having, rent an apartment." I said, "Yeah." And they're gonna keep raising the rent on you, and you get older and older. Next thing you know, you're gonna be on fixed income. You can't afford the apartment because now it costs way more than your number. And I'm saying that because financial planning, true financial planning, is just not investing. Financial planning is financial planning. It's like getting a full exam. It's like getting a MRI. I mean, just because you don't have any cavities, that doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with your kidneys. You're like, "Hey, look at me. I don't have high blood pressure," but that don't mean that there's nothing wrong with your prostate. "I ain't gonna never check my prostate because I got good teeth." No, you can't. This is full body. When you're doing financial planning, you have to look at your numbers. You got to look at now. You got to look at what if something happens, and it's good. And that's why I say, only 8% of people in America have a relationship with a financial planner. How can you go it alone? That's like being in a furniture store and all the lights are turned off and you trying to buy some furniture. Heck, you're going to be falling over half the furniture. You're trying to buy it and find out how much it price. You in the dark. You are in the dark without having a financial plan and having a relationship with a financial planner. I don't care who you are. You can't. It's impossible for you to see what's all available to you.
Rob, what do you think the fear is? Well, because it has to be, I guess, yeah, I'm going to ask the question. What do you think the fear of having a financial planner is? Why wouldn't people want to? They figure they're going to be like the doctor. They're going to charge you $60 an hour to give them conference, or $100 an hour. What's the fear?
Well, first, even before fear comes in, I think that, matter of fact, I know there's not a good understanding what financial planning really is in this totality. I think, matter of fact, I know most people get the whole concept of financial planning. They get that concept mixed up with investing. And because it says financial, and financial just it's a wide net. I mean, it's finance can go into, mortgages, finance could go into, just like the military can go into different segments of the military. So when you say financial, it can go into auto, it could go into, credit cards. It's all financial. So it becomes so vast for most people to even comprehend and understand. So that's what even before fear, understanding. And the good book that you and I read and all the ancient books, they always say, get understanding. And all you're getting, get understanding. You got to say, okay, what's going on? And most of us have failed or fell short because we didn't truly understand. I myself, I made a whole lot of mistakes because I didn't understand the big picture. And when you don't understand the big picture, you're bound to make a lot of costly mistakes. But the good thing about it is it's okay to make mistakes, but you got to be able to say okay and be able to revamp and come back and say, okay, I made a mistake. Now this is what I need to do in order to correct my mistake. And then you don't want to continue to do that. You want to be able to learn from your mistakes and then say, okay, how do I fix this? But James, when you say fear, like the average young person, someone who's 21, 25, 30 years old, they're looking for, hey, where's the next NVIDIA? I mean, how can I get into the next Apple? That's not financial planning, because they might have having auto insurance, or they spending all their money trying to get a fancy car, which their young age and time, they're wasting it on material things. Material things are going to continue to be here as long as you're alive. They always got something new. Every year they got the newer car coming out, new shoes, don't even get me started on those clothing stores. The new clothes always coming. The runway, the Met Gala, every year. You cannot miss it. What are you hurrying up for? You need to get your life in order. It'll be there for you. I mean, what would you want to do? Would you want to save? You want to spend all your money on a 2024 car, or you want to say, okay, I'm going to get that 2030 car because it's 2024 don't look good, but it ain't gonna look like that 2030 car. See, that's planning. And then you start saving your money now so you can get there, but you got to be able to be farsighted and just not nearsighted. And most people are just strictly nearsighted. They can only see what's in front of them right now. Even though we know that, even though they may plan for Christmas and Christmas right now, that's something that they can wrap their hands around it and mind around. Let's plan for Christmas, or plan for vacation, or plan for a cruise for next year and put money down. But when it comes to their personal lives, it's just not. It doesn't stick there because they don't have the peers and everybody around them are not talking about the next 5 years or the next 10 years. Most people who you hang around talking about right now. And right now, you always going to be a day late and a dollar short right now.
If I'm not around people with a vision, hey, hello, how you doing? Is the family good? Okay, have a great day. I don't want to hang out with people who don't have a vision. If all they see is what they see, they have not seen all there is to be seen. And a vision is something you cannot see, but that you have, and you're working toward. And I think that's the biggest hang up with people. A lot of people say, this is what I want, or this is what I need, and they don't go any further than that. And as soon as they get that, they realize that's not all I thought it was. So having a vision means that you've got to start planning. And in planning, you need to, of course, work with people that have expertise in areas that you don't.
That's right.
And if you're going to put money anywhere in the top three, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be number 1, 2, but anywhere in that top 3, if money is there, you really do need a financial planner. Because my thing is, I look at money as the seed. Hey, everything, knowledge, understanding, yes, and money are seeds to me. And if I plant them, I'm going to have a great harvest.
Yes. Let's give the audience an example. I'm gonna give you an example of why you need a financial planner. And I'm gonna give you a case. Now, I want you all to use your imagination. I want you to look at this case and put yourself in this position and tell me, what would you do? Okay, what would you do in this case, in this situation? So you have just inherited $100,000. You weren't expecting $100,000, but you have this $100,000 and you have choices. And see, getting $100,000 and inheriting it, right then you need someone based on your personal goals and objectives to tell you which road to take. And most people don't. When you have money, you need to have a coach to tell you what route, which move to make according to your plans and what you're trying to do. Now, here's a guy that says that he needs $500 a month. So, no, actually he said he needed $700 a month. This guy said he needed $700 a month. So he inherited $100,000. So one mind tells him to take the $100,000, put it in the bank, and withdraw $700 a month. That's what one mind tells him. Now, why would that mind tell him without having a coach, without having a financial planner? That mind tells him, listen, man, you got $100,000. You ain't giving it to nobody. You ain't trusting nobody. You don't want nobody ripping you off. If you put it in the bank, it's safe and you can go and get it. That's a real mind. That's a real thought that millions and millions of people have. Now, he needs $700, but this mind tells him, man, what you know. and you ain't got to ask nobody else. You take that $100,000 and you take it to your local bank and you withdraw $700 a month, which you know you're going to get that. And if anything else comes up, hey, you deal with it. Now, think about that. That's $700 a month. What is that? $8,400 a year, right? So you know that in 10 years, he got 10 years for $84,000 going to be gone. So he got 10 years. You know that. So
11.9.
Okay. Now, do you think, James, think about this one mind that told him that, because he leaned on his own understanding. He didn't get a financial coach. He said he needs $700 and he going to put it in the bank and get that $700. He can control that. The problem comes up. I don't care who you are, stuff happens. Stuff happens. How likely is it that he is going to be that disciplined and put that $100,000 in the bank and discipline and commit to only taking $700 a month? How disciplined? How many of us can swear and put our hands on a Bible and say, I'm going to do that? No, because stuff happens. Because now you need tires for your car. Now Beyonce's coming to town or something. You know what I mean? You got $100,000 in the bank. Stuff happens. Something happens to the car. Something happens to the roof. Your cousin, somebody died unexpectedly. You got $100,000 in the bank. Even though you say you're gonna take $700. So that's one mindset tell him to do that. Now, that's another mindset tells him, well, there is a investment that you can take this $100,000 and they're going to pay you 5.75% a year. Okay, which is $5,700. It'll be a little shorter than the 700, but they're going to do it for 5 years. And you're going to receive this money, and in 5 years, they give you the $100,000 back. That's one mind. That's one consideration. There's another consideration, another mind that says, here is something that you can put $100,000 in. It pays you $700 for the rest a month, for the rest of your life. Now, you won't have access to the 100,000 because you put it somewhere like a private pension. You put it into an annuity. It's going to pay you just like a pension. It's going to pay you just like Social Security. You ain't got to worry about the stock market. You ain't got to worry about the government. You ain't got to worry about who's the president. You ain't got to worry about no wars. You ain't got to worry about no volatility. That money is coming. 700. So you got that. So now you got three choices. Get that guaranteed $700. And somebody says, Robert, will the $700 increase in value? Yes, you can set it up where it'll increase in value. Next year, it may be $700 a month. I mean, this year it'll be $700 a month, but next year it may be $730 a month. And the next following year, maybe $760 a month. It'll keep going up. As long as you live, you're going to get that money. You ain't got to worry about it. But you won't be able to call the people up and say, I need to go to a Beyonce concert. I need $2,000. You won't be able to say, hey, my cousin died and I want to pay for the funeral. You won't be able to do that. Stuff don't happen. That money is earmarked to give you the $700 guaranteed. So that's three choices. But if you don't have a financial planner, you don't even know about the other two choices that you could put the $100,000 in there, and every year, every 5 years, get your $100,000 back, but they'll give you $450 a month. But every 5 years, you get your $100,000 back, and whatever interest rates is, you can go again. But you have some control over it. Or do you want to just say, hey, man, I'm getting $700 plus my Social Security. I'm fine. And it's going to do the rest of my life. Or you're going to say, no, man, that first mine, I want to see my money. I'm going to put it in the local bank. And I'm going to take the $700 off. And you know stuff going to happen with the car and stuff always happen. And you're going to wind up taking that money out before it's time. You need a financial planner. But James, in the situation that I just described, only 8% of the whole 340 million people, even if we said that rising up 10%, have a financial planner. And that's the problem. That's why the rich right now are getting richer and the poor is getting poor. It's going to widen more because most people don't have, only 8% of people, less than 8% of people have financial planners. That's crazy. That's like getting in your car, being totally 100% blind and trying to go around the city. That's what you're doing. You need. Now, James, when you say, what do I think is because of the fear? Fear is one. The other one is ego, pride. The other one is people feel they don't have enough money to get guidance. How in the heck, if you ain't got no money, that's when you need to learn about money. What you mean? I don't make enough to have a financial planner. Most people are not doing the best with what they have. That's how matter of fact, I'm a reverse. I would say 95% of people are not being good stewards. They're not being good stewards of what money they have. They lose more money and mismanage more money than what they could have. 95% of people make mistakes or reason why they're not making more money and reason why they're not doing better because they don't have a financial planning coach.
My thing would be, Rob, if you are investing in anything, your best investment is in a good financial planner. That's
right.
That's the start.
That's right.
Before you do a stock, before you do this, before you buy a house, whatever investment that you want to make, I think your first best investment is in a good financial planner.
That's right. Someone who you can trust, someone who can explain things to you. What's a will? What's a trust? What is Social Security? What's retirement planning? How to put James, most people don't know their number. James, if I ask James right now online, I said, James, how many children do you have? How many do you have, James? How many children do you have? See how quick that was? See how quick that was? See how quick that was? You know you have two. Some people say, I don't know how many I got. Oh, yes, a lot of people like that. No. We laughing, but there's a lot of people like that. You need to know your number. If I ask you how many children you have, especially if you're a female, you ought to know how many kids came out your body. And even your step kids, or I won't say step kids, kids that you're taking care of, kids that you raise as your own. It's the same because it's all mentally. You don't have to be physically. We really get caught up in this physical stuff. But like the good book says, who is my mother? Who is my father?
Ooh, but you're about to go in this deep end, Rob.
My father, my mother, my sister, other people that believe in the creator like I believe. That's unity. You know what I mean? Physical stuff, everything physical fades. It's all mental, spiritual. That's kinship.
Oh, see, Rob, that's what I'm talking about. You're about to leave. You're about to leave natural. You're about to go where Thomas Anderson went. About to go into the Matrix. But yeah, Rob. But again, when you get a financial planner, guess what? That's what you're going to ask them.
Yes.
Now, let me help you to find your number. Let me show you how to come up with your number. Yeah.
Yes.
Because most people don't want to be honest.
With themselves even, right?
That's what I was about to tell you. When was the last time that we really took a pad and understood where every dime of earned money went?
Yes, but you have to, all successful businesses know their numbers. You cannot find a Fortune 500 company, Nike, Apple, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Home Depot, Amazon. They know their numbers. They know their numbers. Do you know your number? If I ask you how many kids you have, you should know that. So if I ask you, what is your fixed overhead expense per month? I don't know. How you don't know that? You need to know what you need your basic survival needs per month is. You gotta know that. If you don't know that, how you going to plan? If you listen, you gotta know, okay, well, I know my car note costs this, I know my mortgage costs this, I know the insurance is this, I know the daycare is this, I know the property tax is this, I know homeowner insurance is this. I know we down in Florida, and I ain't trying to make everybody get flood insurance. That's gonna be that. I know the electric is this. I know my phone bill, is this. I know that we eat out once a week or twice a week and we spend this. I know that when we go to the grocery store, it used to be this, but now it's that, for the grocery. I mean, I know the clothing is this, you gotta know that. You gotta know that fixed number. That's key, man. That is the key. You gotta know that when you get that fixed number, then okay, this is how much I could afford to go past that number, or I gotta hit that number. Because if I don't hit that number, I'm being in trouble. Do you know all corporations, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Apple, Amazon, Google, they are so fixated on those numbers until they have to give those reports every quarter, every 3 months. It's almost like they kind of give us indication when you're a child and you get progress report, and then you get a report card every quarter. That lets you know how little Johnny, how little Sandra is doing. You're monitoring it. And so if you see your niece and you say, hey, how you doing in school? And they go, I'm doing great. You say, okay, but I want to see the report card. I want to see your numbers, because the numbers don't lie, But when we get older and become adults, we lose monitoring our numbers, our cost of living. You need to know exactly what it takes for you to survive. Reason why? Because you got to see how things and stuff is going up. If your numbers are let's say $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month, it will tell you, just because that car commercial came out, it will tell you, can you afford to get a new car now? And if you says, no, my numbers don't permit that, it will tell you, if you really want that car, you got to go get another job, or you got to do something on the side and get that car so your numbers could be in line. You can't just not know your numbers, and now all of a sudden that new commercial about that car come up and you want to go get the car and not know your numbers and not think that you're going to have to do something different because your numbers are right here. That car going to make your numbers here. What are you going to do? Use a credit card?
No, I'm going to hit lotto.
You
I'm going to hit Powerball. I'm going to hit Powerball. Right?
That's not concrete. That's chance. That's chance. All businesses that are successful, they know their numbers, man. They say, we can hire or we could fire. When they lay off people, they're not laying them off just because they ain't like the way they look. They laying them off because they need to get their numbers right. They're laying them off. They need to get their numbers right. They're saying they're paying too much for salaries. If they get the people to work and do more work part-time, they can lower their overhead expense. And now when a report card comes out, when they report that business has made X amount in profits. But if they got to pay so many people, their profits going to be lower. So they lay those people off. So now the report card come, their profits look larger. It's a business. And guess what? Each and every one of us, we're all our own business.
I'm a brand, Rob. I tell them all the time. I'm a brand. Treat me like I'm a brand.
Yes. But man, this conversation that we're having right now, most of us have never had these conversations with each other, with ourselves, with our colleagues, because everybody, watching, being entertained, waiting for football, basketball going on, waiting for football, and people know the statistics of the players and stuff. You ask me the statistic of any other player, any player. Why do I know what? I know my number. I don't care about what that guy went to college for or who the Dolphins is drafting. How's that going to help me in my financial life? How? Now I can see if I was a coach, that'd be my business. But if I ain't coaching the Dolphins, why do I care who they draft or who they? Why? Come on. It's enough for me to stay on my numbers, my budget, what I need. And most people are in trouble because they're not minding their own business. And each and every one of us, we are businesses within ourselves. We are a business. You got the business of life. You got to tune up. You got to take care of your body. If you don't, you go down. You got to eat. You got to nourish. It's a lot of stuff to be in you. So you really got to spend time and making sure you take care of yourself and know your numbers. And you got to get a financial planner, coach.
And Robert, it's not a one-time situation. That's it.
No.
That's another thing. Things change, things progress, and like you said, things come up. So you need somebody to say, okay, as I called in, got a project that we got going on. Hey, and they said, well, no, James, you don't want to do it this way. You want to do it this way. Oh, okay, good. I had someone to call. But in my mind, and I called to ask the question. I don't call and say, I'm going to do this. I said, this is what I would like to do. Tell me what's the best way based on my numbers. What's the best way for it to be done?
So, that's one of my favorite lines. How can we make this better? Or what is the best way, James,
right.
to do this? What do you think? How can we handle this? How can we fix this? How can we make this better? That should be each and every one of our vocabulary. Those would be tunes, phrases that we all get comfortable with saying. Get rid of ego and pride, man, because this is your life, and you got to say, I'm not playing no more, so I need to get good counseling. And all you're getting, you got to get good counseling, especially for things that you don't specialize in.
King Solomon said multiple counseling. Don't get just one. Hey, financial planner here, a good primary care doctor here. If
good plumber.
If we got
surgery.
Have a
good air conditioning guy.
Man, when I had my meniscus, the surgery, they were talking about, well, James, if you were 20 years old, we would do this. I said, treat me like a 20-year-old, because I'm going to live to be 120. And I don't want no pain. I don't want nothing waking me up at night. Talking about, ooh, no. And literally, the surgeon did the surgery. From the day of the surgery, I have not had a pain. I don't have to knock on wood because wood didn't do it. God did. So, hey, and so when I went back after the 30 days, because everybody telling me, Rob, oh, James T., you're going to have to go to rehab for about 4 weeks, about 8 weeks. And when I went back, I said, well, how long do I have to go to rehab? He said, do you have any pain? I said, no. He said, no rehab. Thank you.
Yeah, see, that's good stuff, man.
And that's the way we have to look at having that best life. I'm not looking to have a good life. I'm looking to have the best life I can today. And when midnight comes, I'm looking for the next day to be the best day of my life.
That's right, man. I tell you, James, it's amazing when you look at the situation. Most people don't have guidance, don't have financial guidance. It's a lot to be done, and it's a lot to be said that you are not being blessed with more because you're not even good at what you have. Now, it's biblical that before you can really get more, you got to be good at what you have. Does that make sense to give somebody more if they're not good stewards of what they have? I mean, would you, if you have a kid, little Johnny, he comes to the kitchen table and you fix him a plate of food and he takes 2 bites and then he don't eat no more food. He wants to look at the TV. He wants to look around. He don't want to eat anymore. Is it natural to say, hey, let me give you more food because what you have, you haven't eaten? Do you give him more food, or do you say, okay, you don't want to eat? There's no more food for you. Get up from the table. Is that natural? That's a naturalness about that. So I don't care if you're a bus driver, a janitor, a park ranger, a teacher, how can you ask, or how could you even get more if you're not doing and working with what you have? That is a spiritual principle that you must address. If you, a lot of, here's a guy that makes $40,000 a year. He spends all $40,000. How could he get more? And he wants more. Okay, he prays and he gets $50,000 a year. Now he spends all $50,000 and he prays more. He says he needs 75,000. He prays, and now he has 75. He getting $75,000 a year, and he spends all 75,000. Now, you all think I just came up with those numbers, but those are facts about human nature. That's why the people in Congress, when they get to Congress, they don't care about you. That's why they don't treat you fair. That's why they all get free health care. They all get free retirement, and they lobbyists pay them, and they want to stay in office because they think the rest of us are absolutely crazy because of those numbers that they get on people. You have got to say, listen, where's my number? What is my number? And I'm going to at least meet that number. And anything above that, I'm going to save and invest. That's what you have to do. You have to stop and doing that. But most of us are just going like every battery. If we just going living from paycheck to paycheck, you can never get further because spiritually, you cannot get more if you're not doing more. You got to work with what you have, and then you will be blessed with more. And plus, knowing your numbers to tell you, do you need to go ahead and get a side job? Should you have 2 hustles? It'll tell you exactly. You can have all what you want, but you gotta have a format for it. You have to have a plan. You have to know what you have to do and how much you have to put in order to take out. That's just the way financial planning works. So if you need a financial planner, which most of you do, give us a call at the Henderson Financial Group. You don't have to be rich and wealthy. We just need to see that you want to do better. Here's the answer. 305-825-1444. Let me say it again. 305-825-1444. Call the office and say, I was listening to Henderson and I need a financial plan. I need a financial coach, and we'll help you. And if you you can also go to our website and put your information in, and we'll contact you. That's www.hendersonfinancialgroup.com. www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. Or call the office. We'll set up a phone conference with you. We'll set up a go-to meeting, a Zoom, and we'll talk about your personal information, and we'll actually help you to set up and create a financial plan, something that can help you in your personal life, not Susie's life, not Johnny's life, but your personal life, your goals and your objectives. And we'll be honest with you and tell you what you need to do and how you need to cut back or how you need to go faster or increase more. But you need to at least know the facts. It's about your life. What do you say, James?
I say, hey, the greater too, Rob, is we can get this. And if we get it, let's take care of our kids so that we don't get the information and it goes with us when we transition and the kids come along. And yes, you've left something, you've been a wise steward. You left good for your children's children. And they say, woo, okay, we don't want this house. We sell it. We going to the DR. we gonna celebrate mom and dad. We're going to the DR. We're going to Dubai. Hey, we're gonna go on a month cruise, and all of a sudden, all that you have done goes for naught. So you've got to prepare. As I tell my family, they're gonna have to get a good judge, good crooked judge and lawyer.
You got a living truck set up
to liquidate. Hey, Rob, come on. Why would we want to build and then let someone else come along and quote unquote give it away? And they're thinking that they're selling it. You're not selling it. You're giving it away because that wisdom in that other person, Rob, knows that whatever the cost is today, 10 years, 20 years from now, it's going to be multiples.
Hey,
Now,
listen, you're 100% right, but I gotta get to that
oh,
workshop.
woo, 59. Yeah, we got to go. Okay. Father God, Lord Jesus, Holy Spirit, we thank you for today. We ask that you bless all the fathers and those who love the fathers. And we're praying, dear God, that we will all grow stronger and stronger with knowledge, understanding, and wisdom daily so that our lives will glorify you. Because we know that the scripture in Proverbs tells us that the wise are mightier than the strong, and those with knowledge grow stronger and stronger. So, to all of you listening and viewing today, Robert and I pray that together we'll grow stronger and stronger and be wise and glorify God. In Jesus' name, amen.
Let the church say amen. Hey, Anna Dupree, I will be at that graduation. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
yeah. I got my invitation too, Rob.
Yeah, Delawrence Moore. Good morning, Joseph Carvel. Good morning, good morning. Hey, you guys have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. We love you. Stay safe and have a great rest of your day.
Fathers. Happy Father's Day, everybody out
Happy
there.
Father's Day. All right, peace. I see Lenny Green said thank you there.
Yeah, I
Lenny
sent
Green.
him the message because